Not super interesting, but here's what we look like for now. Let's go ahead and head on in. Well, Mr. Wernzone, what you gotta say today? Axe-Master Wernzone requires your assistance with a troubling development. Raspberry, there is trouble afoot. Do you recall the lad whose parents were slain by the beast Kujata? The boy's grandfather, Nedard, but recently contacted us with worrisome news. Young Sigard has gone missing. There have been sightings of Kujata in the area, and it would seem that the child felt compelled to seek the creature out. As you are familiar with the boy and his tragic tale, I would have you attend to this matter. My sister, Sulkwib, awaits you at the Bismarck. She has been apprised of the situation and will aid you in plotting a suitable course of action. Alright. We're gonna head to the Bismarck. The Bismarck, if you don't recall, is the premier restaurant of Limsa Lominsa. It's also the site of the Culinarians Guild. So if you want to do crafting, you'll be there a lot. Well, specifically crafting food. Here's Silkwib at one of the tables. Ah, Raspberry. I assume you are here to discuss the missing child and not to sample a bowl of mutton stew? First things first, I would advise against rushing off to peer under every rock in the countryside. We need more information to direct our search. I suggest we head to the Red Rooster Stead and learn what more we can from old Nedard. Alright. So that is going to take us to Lower Lenosha. I think I'm better off taking the... Better off taking the Tempest Gate. Lenosha has some of the more annoying... Whoops. Keep forgetting I don't have a mount. But Lenosha has some of the more annoying setups as far as, like, how the areas are set up and where the aetherites are. See, the only aetherite in Lower Lenosha is this one down here at Morby Dry Docks. And we're going all the way up here. So, there's nothing close by. It's not so bad once you have a mount and you can fly. But early on, it's a little bit annoying. And we are still early on. I haven't actually counted how many hours I've put into this playthrough so far. But believe it or not, we're early on. I feel like I've seen the number 40 hours thrown around as how long ARR takes. So, we'll be going through this for a little while. Okay, where's this guy? Oh, I think I remember he's in here. Maybe? Yep, there he is. Thank the gods you're here. Seems me grandson is set on causing naught but trouble for ye. But surely you can... Oh, trying to figure out. Surely you can, how the lad is feeling. How he's boiling with hate for that murderous beast. And the last time, when you came along like an avenging angel and showed him the strength of your steel, well, you lit a fire in his belly. He must have gotten it into his head to take revenge on the beast himself. Daft little bugger. Any road, Once he heard Kujata had been spotted near Aleport, why, he shot through the door like an arrow from a bow, and I ain't seen him since. I beg of ye, find me little Sigurd afore he gets himself stomped to death. That big bastard Aurochs has spilled more'n enough of me kin's blood. Our course is clear. We must set out for Aleport at once. An old acquaintance of mine, Farstim, often stands guard at the port gates. He might know something of the lad's whereabouts. We can teleport straight to Aleport. Have I seen a boy wandering about by himself? As a matter of fact, me and my fellow gate guard here just watched a young lad traipsing off to the north. We were arguing whether or not to abandon our post and bring the child back ourselves. Large packs of jackals have been prowling the wilds of late, so if you mean to head after him, pray do so quickly. Hells, I might even pass along word to the Marauders Guild. You'd be better off with an extra blade or two at your back. Well, sir, I am the Marauders Guild. Let's see. His water skin. Up here we see his satchel. God, I keep forgetting. Keep trying to mount up and I can't. And here's Sulkwib. Have you found any signs of Sigurd? Got a couple things. He must have been in a desperate hurry indeed to cast away his belongings in such a careless manner. I myself came across his wood axe, a tool the lad took from the stead, perhaps? Gods below, Raspberry, over there. Alright, got another duty. Let's see what we gotta fight this time. Oh, there's Kujata himself. Groan. Raspberry. His favorite flavor of ice cream. Well, those weren't hard. Oh, here's some more. We did it. Wait, I thought I killed them all. Step aside. Rarg! Wern zone? He breathes yet. We withdraw to the Red Rooster stead. Follow my lead, Raspberry. That's a bit of a walk. Is it just gonna teleport me there? No, it's teleporting me to Aleport. Where am I at in comparison? I'm way far away. Okay, I'm gonna go to Limsa. How did that kid get all the way over there by himself? Like, he either ran through Middle Lenosha or Limsa to get all the way over there to where Kujata had been spotted. That would have been way too much work for me as a kid. At least the sky's pretty. Oh, so the moon's bright over there. Is this quest? Where the heart is missed. Oh, okay. So that quest is just introducing you to one of the areas where you can buy a house. If you haven't heard of Final Fantasy Housing Savage, it is hard to buy a house. You brought him home. I don't got the words to thank ye. He fell down a cliff, but he's okay. The lad's past the worst of it. He struck his head in the fall, though, and it may be some time before he opens his eyes. Thank you for coming, brother, if you hadn't scattered those jackals when you did. I have done naught to earn your thanks. When I learned of the situation from Aleport, I realized the dangers were greater than I had anticipated. No single marauder could have hoped to fend off such numbers in time. Pray accept my apologies, Neddard. You turned to us for help, and yet your grandson now lies before you, broken and battered. You risked your lives to save little Sigurd. How's a man to find fault with that? It's me who ought to be begging forgiveness for the wounds you took protecting me foolish boy. You needn't concern yourself with our well-being. Our training prepares us for such eventualities. There is not more we can accomplish here, Raspberry. It is time we returned to the guild and focused on other tasks. Alright, back to Limsa. I'm glad the lad will live, but I fear this will not be the last time Sigurd abandons caution in his thirst for vengeance against Kujata. The wound in his heart festers and seethes, feeding his impatience at our seeming inaction. But we must not think ill of the boy. Instead, let his helpless rage be as a spur to our efforts. I say again, Raspberry, Kujata will fall by your hand, and I will shape you into the deadly weapon you need to be. Okay. Let's see, that one's better. Just the head's better. Axemaster Wernzone wishes to set you for a trail that will hone your strength and skill to ever greater heights. Raspberry, our near disastrous encounter with the pack that follows Kujata has been preying on my mind. The overwhelming number of the beasts was beyond aught I had imagined. Even the most dedicated marauder could not hope to carve through that snarling wall of flesh. And if we cannot dispatch the pack, then Kujata remains beyond our reach. Thus I have prepared for you a trial that shall unleash your deepest reserves of destructive strength. As before, Sulkwib awaits you at the Bismarck to guide you on your path. Do not squander this opportunity for growth, Raspberry. The pride of the guild itself rides on the keen edge of your axe. I don't know why suddenly I'm the best in the guild, but that's fine. Spoiler, that's just how all of the class quests are. Oh, you're the best fighter we've ever seen. You're the best crafter, gatherer, whatever the fuck we've ever seen. This game loves to play into that stuff. Alright, Sulkwib. You've word from my brother? Huh, the pride of the guild, eh? My brother has placed quite a burden on your shoulders, it seems. But, from what I have witnessed, if any marauder has the skill and determination to put down Kujata, then it is you. And there is, of course, the matter of Sigurd's vengeance. You don't want to disappoint the poor boy now, do you? Let us be about this trial, Raspberry. I shall meet you on the Salt Strand in Lower Lenosha, where your training is to take place. Well, naturally, I will be there. Without me, you're like to forget to tend your wounds and bleed to death. That's Tank in a nutshell. Let's see. Actually. So this, finally, we're going to be closer to Dry Docks. So we can go ahead and teleport. And again, I forget I don't have a mount. I don't know why I keep forgetting that today, but that's fine. We'll continue running. Finally unlock mounts around, I think it's level 20 or 21 of MSQ, which, as you can see, I am level 27. But unfortunately, that doesn't mean anything. I have to get to level 20 or 21, somewhere in around there, of story, which we have not reached yet, and still will not reach for a while. I don't think these guys are... Yeah, they're too low level to bother me. These cute guys. Crabs are cute. Okay, Silkwood, let's see what we gotta do. Well, this should be the place. I don't see... Ah, do you sense that encroaching aura of violence, Raspberry? Pray unlimber that axe of yours. Let's go. Get Defiance on. Get all these moles. That didn't take long. That seems to be the last of them. Compared to what we have faced before, though, that wasn't terribly. So this is the indomitable Raspberry Gelato. Who in the seven hells are you? Wait, is that? I have deemed you worthy of our challenge. Come, marauder, let us test the edge of your steel. Oh, brother. Silkwood was already well on her way to killing some guys. Let's see. Sorry, my kitty wants some attention. It seems my underlings have provided you with poor sport. Very well, I shall take your measure with mine own blade. Do not think to show me quarter, Raspberry, for I shall surely show you none. Alright, let's go. Random guy, I definitely don't know who you are. Hello, miss. You're making this difficult. I wonder what fracture is. That must be an old dot that used to be on Marauder. I yield. Your strength has humbled us all. Aye, it might just be enough. We're done here, my colleagues. Drag away those who cannot stand. Your display of prowess was truly impressive, Raspberry. Worthy indeed. What a ridiculous charade. Did he honestly think we couldn't see through those paltry disguises? Though am confident my brother's act was not born of malice, rather he hoped by concealing his identity that the trial would seem more threatening, thus increasing its effectiveness. Not an entirely successful undertaking, but one must appreciate his intentions. So yeah, that was Wernzone and the rest of the Marauders. It is time you return to the guild. Oh, and as a favor to me, pray indulge Wernzone in his little deception. Subterfuge is not a Marauder's forte. Listen, he did his best. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by how cute my kitty is. Okay, back to the Marauders Guild. Raspberry, I have heard of your skirmish on the Salt Strand. You did well to topple opponents of such formidable skill. But let us not dwell on the nature of those masked men. What is important is your triumph in the face of overwhelming odds. Your fellow marauders are honored to have you swing your axe in the guild's name. They stand behind you, one and all, as you prepare to overcome your greatest trial yet. Aye, the time has come for you to bring Kujata's bloody rampage to an end. When next he rears his horrible horned head, you shall be ready to bury your blade in his skull. Let's see what we got this time. Heavy armor. Oh, okay. So, early on in the game, they have some armor, like this heavy iron armor and these heavy iron flanchard. That, so like the heavy iron armor, it doesn't allow you to equip anything to the head. You can see there under the, where it shows that it's only for tanks. Cannot equip gear to head. Same thing with these, the heavy iron flanchards. Cannot equip gear to feet. So they will say that the defense is higher, but in actuality, if you compare it to like a regular chest piece plus a regular helmet or a regular pants plus shoes, you will actually have higher defense if you have two individual pieces than if you use just one of these. So they're straight up not worth using. So we're just gonna grab these heavy iron gauntlets. And that's all we can do. Oh, they're green. That's all we can do at the Marauders Guild for now until we get to level 30. Then we will complete the Marauders Guild storyline and finally go fight Kujata. Until then, time to go back to story. Let's see, we're gonna go back to Ul'dah so we can find out more about the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Name has a little bit of a ring to it. So we're gonna go to the Adventurers Guild, I think. Yeah, we need to go talk to Omodi. Alright, Miss Momodi. Momodi is ready to tell you what she knows about the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Oh, there's the Y'shtola. So, you want to know more then, do you? Well, ain't that a surprise? I swear, if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on the other, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being Ul'Dah. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, If you're wondering whether you can trust these Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you can. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, and so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Raspberry. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the Scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The Scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Wakened Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance and you'll be let in. You're a woman in demand, Raspberry, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget about them as helped make you into the adventurer you are. Drop in and tell 'em how you're faring from time to time, you hear? Right, well, I've said my piece. Off you go. Alright, so we gotta go to Vesper Bay. That's not where I wanted to go. Vesper Bay is in western Thanalan. I am not attuned to Horizon, so we will have to hoof it the whole way. Let's see. Western Thanalan, yes. Oops, running into things. What is that? Oh. That's actually a later MSQ enemy someone's fighting. Alright, here we are in Horizon. Tuned to here. Let's keep on a-going. Here we've got some ruins. I actually don't remember what kind of ruins these are. I think they get explained at some point. But I think that might be only if you start out in Ul'dah. I don't remember super well. We'll see, I guess. If it gets explained, it'll be an ARR. So if it's not in the Ul'dah beginning stuff, then we'll see it eventually. So now we are finally beginning the main section of the story, which will revolve around Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Oh, quick aside, this lady is who you talk to be able to dye your clothes and also set up claimers. I'm not going to do that right now because it's not a super interesting quest. I'll probably do that off screen on my own time. But yeah, this is where she's at. That's one reason why I've been waiting to do it, because she's right here next to where the Scions of the Seventh Dawn are. So I knew I'd be getting here eventually. So, come back to her later. For now, let's go in. Talk to Tataru. Deep in the desert of my heart, a lonely flower blooms, yearning for the heavens above, to quench my thirst for you. Trollololololo, trollolololo. They like putting a lot of random memes in Final Fantasy XIV. Wah! I would thank you not to sneak up on me like that. Now, please be advised that this is private property. Unless you have pertinent business here, I must ask you to... Here at the behest of Y'shtola. My sincerest apologies. May I please have your name? Raspberry Gelato, Raspberry Gelato. Ah, here you are. Ahem. I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands, headquarters of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. My name is Tataru, and I look forward to assisting you during your time with us. The antecedent is within the solar. I shall let her know to expect you. Tataru is really cute. I love her. Gonna be honest, she's one of my favorite members of the Scions. Alright, let's head on in. I take it you are Raspberry Gelato. Tataru sent word that you had arrived. Lady Minfilia has eagerly awaited your coming. This way, if you please. Let's see, what do I want? None of these.
So you're the adventurer of whom I've heard so much. Well met, friend. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have awaited your coming. Please, be at ease. You are among friends here. No doubt you are ripe to burst with questions. But have patience. All will be revealed in time. First, let me begin by telling you who we are and what we do. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, an order that transcends political boundaries. Our single objective is the preservation of the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals.
Like I said, we would be learning more about primals in the future. Well, here's where we finally learn some more about primals.
Their existence is a bane upon Eorzea, nay, the world at large, and we have striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. Our order is home to a number of individuals who, like you, possess a rare and special talent. This talent takes various forms, but one holds particular interest for us. Tell me, have you ever experienced a sudden, inexplicable loss of consciousness? Have you ever had the sensation of being pulled away from reality? Felt as though you were hovering in space, a mind without a body?
Then you... Wow, I was gonna make a joke there and I couldn't even think of the words.
All these things are the manifestations of your talent. Yours is the power to transcend the boundaries of the soul, a power known as the Echo.
If you have the Echo, you might be entitled to compensation. Anyway, that's the joke I was trying to make.
The Echo allows you to pass through the walls of a man's soul and hear the resonations of his past. You will be there in his memories and see things as he saw them. You may even interact with that which you see, though you cannot change the outcome of events. For another blessing, the Echo will enable you to know a man's mind even if you cannot comprehend his words. In short, the Echo is a truly extraordinary power, and this power is strong within you. It is only a shame that we cannot use it whensoever we choose. That's right. I, too, possess the Echo. With that established, let us return to the subject of the primals. So long as they exist, the realm cannot take so much as a single step towards true peace. Measures must be taken. Measures which transcend boundaries, be they of faction, race, language, or creed. And to do so, the Scions require the aid of those with our talent. Make no mistake, the Echo will be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. Without it, we cannot hope to save the realm. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Why else would the gods entrust man with a gift so extraordinary, if not to have him use it? And so I implore you, lend us your power.
Naturally, your aid will not go unrewarded. We are fortunate to have a number of influential allies, and at a word from me, they will gladly afford you certain privileges that might otherwise be denied you. Thank God we're getting paid. The right to employ retainers, for example. Are you familiar with them? They are individuals who may be relied upon to manage your assets and belongings on your behalf. The papers you requested, my lady. Thank you, Tatara. The pleasure is mine, my lady. By way of a welcoming gift, I have taken the liberty of adding your name to the retainer's registry. As of now, you are entitled to employ the services of a retainer. You will need to consult a retainer vocate regarding the particulars of this arrangement, but believe me when I say that retainers will prove invaluable to you in your adventuring endeavors. Okay, so retainers are not anything having to do with story. They are introduced in story like this. But basically the point of a retainer is just they're a guy that you can hire, basically. And by hire, I mean you can make their appearance and stuff in the character creator. And then they have extra inventories that you can put stuff in because you get a lot of shit in this game. You get so much shit. And you can offload some of it onto retainers, and they can go on to sell that stuff for you on the market board. So you cannot, I think you can maybe buy stuff on the market board up to this point, but you cannot sell anything on the market board unless you have a retainer. So you start with 2. 2 is the base amount that you get just for like having an account, and then you can also buy more. I'm trying to remember how much they are a month. I think they're like an extra $2 to your sub a month for a single retainer. There's other stuff they can do. They can go on ventures, which is basically gathering, picking up materials for you, gathering materials. They can get some special minions that you can only get through uh, retainer ventures, stuff like that. It's a lot of optional stuff you don't have to do to just like play the game. But they are very handy if you are a crafter and gatherer, because you will need places to put all of the things that you craft and gather, and be able to sell them on the market board and make money. Let this gesture serve as evidence of our commitment to do all in our power to facilitate your personal objectives. It is kind of funny that it's like out of the gate, it's like, we haven't really told you what we want you to do, but here, you can have retainers. We're like buttering you up to get you to do some dangerous stuff. In return, we ask that you aid us to the fullest extent of your talents. A mutually beneficial relationship, I am sure you will agree, and one which serves the greater good besides. Well, that was a veritable lecture, was it not? Forgive me, but it is important that all concerned are aware of what is expected of them. Now you know our purpose and what we can offer you. I invite you to consider joining us. When you have come to a decision, you may tell me without fear of censure. In good faith, I shall entrust you with our order's password, which our members use to reach one another when afield. It is Wild Rose. Pray keep it safe. Retainers now available. So, just so you know, you cannot continue the MSQ without joining the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Joining the Scions of the Seventh Dawn is like a huge part of the plot, so it's a non-choice, basically. However, we can go around and talk to people. Our organization, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, was formed through the union of 2 separate entities. The first was comprised of Charlian natives such as myself, and was called the Circle of Knowing. The second, made up of individuals that share your rare gift, was known as the Path of the 12. The terrible events that ushered in the Seventh Umbral Era taught us that only together may we stand against the evil that seeks to consume us. Okay, thanks, Yishtol. So, we will get introduced to the rest of the characters as we continue. So, let's continue. We Scions have but one objective, to safeguard the future of Eorzea. Among our greatest concerns are the godlike beings known as primals. Long have we striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Pray consider this when you give me your answer, Raspberry. I will go whither the wild rose blooms. Minfilia is waiting to hear whether or not you will pledge your support to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Glamour Dispeller.
I take it you will help us. Wonderful! I knew you wouldn't let us down. But come, I would introduce you to your friends in the Order. Tell me, does the name Charlian ring any bells? It used to be one of Eorzea's 6 city-states, and was situated in the northwest of Aldenard. The Charlians were the keepers of wisdom both old and new. Their mastery over magic and ether was unsurpassed, and even the Garleans knew to fear them. Among their number, there were a noble few who devoted their lives to safeguarding the future of Eorzea.
I forgot that Charlian was actually considered a city-state. So, as of now, I guess technically there's like 4 city-states, but Ishgard isn't really interacting with anyone else, so there's only 3 that are working together. And that's Limsa, Ul'dah, and Gridania.
When the realm began its descent into chaos, and their countrymen fled for the motherland, they alone chose to remain here. These noble men and women were called the Archons. Those same brave souls stand before you now.
Okay, so they are called Archons. I believe it's established later that Archon is actually like a rank? Not like a rank. It's more like I have a master's degree, so I'm an Archon. It's not quite equivalent, but it's basically that. It means you went to school in Charlian. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong, though.
The masked woman is Ida, and beside her is Popolimo. The two are charged with surveying the Twelveswood.
Hello there.
Welcome.
Okay, my turn to introduce someone. That there is Thancred.
Ida's cute.
He is our man here in Ul'dah, Jewel of the Desert.
Welcome to the team.
Thanks, Thancred.
If I may, the lovely maiden beside me is named Y'shtola. Limsa Lominsa has the pleasure of being under her care.
Well, we know Y'shtola.
Greetings. I have been expecting you. Last but not least is Urianger, who presides over all affairs within these halls. Pray seek him out whenever you have questions.
Urianger may prove to be harder to read the dialogue for than even Baderon.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. The words of a dear friend. I am glad of our meeting.
At the Battle of Carteneau, our leader was taken from us. But we did not stray from our purpose. We sought out Minfilia and others with her talent, and together established the Scions of the 7th Dawn.
Along with the Archons, those blessed with the Echo play a pivotal role in our endeavor to forge a brighter tomorrow for the realm. Oh, I should also introduce you to Tataru, our clerk. She ensures that everything runs smoothly.
I have not listened to this entire cutscene in a while, apparently, because Tataru? It's Tataru. Like, I promise you, that's how they pronounce it later in the game. It's Tataru.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
In time, I hope you will come to think of us as family. But without further ado, I would assign you your first task. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldessian?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have received a request for aid from the Immortal Flames. Thancred, would you do the honors?
It would be my pleasure. Some days ago, a crystal caravan registered to Amagina and Sons mineral concern was waylaid and divested of its cargo. But there is more. Within a bell of the robbery, several people were reported missing from the shantytown outside the city.
At a glance, one would assume the involvement of bandits, kidnappers, and coincidence. Such crimes are hardly uncommon, and the Immortal Flames deal with their like almost every day. However, this time we have reason to believe that a primal is involved.
Aye. The evidence left behind implicates the Emolja, who are known worshippers of Ifrit. If we then consider the objects that were taken, there is no room left for doubt. The crimes were committed in the name of a primal.
That you may better understand the nature of our struggle with the primals, I would have you play the leading role in this investigation.
Yeah, let the newbie who doesn't know shit about primals go ahead and lead the investigation. That's a good idea.
You have my thanks. If there is aught you wish to know, I recommend you speak with Thancred. He is well versed in the affairs of Ulda.
Ever at your service, fair lady.
Thancred, I regret to inform you, Raspberry is very obviously gay. Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then your mission is to investigate a crystal robbery and a spate of abductions. Crimes which we believe to be connected. Assuming we are correct, it is like that any discoveries we make in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on their caravan, our friends at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern have double security over all their shipments. In light of this, it is my judgment that the abductions should be our priority. According to our preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone, so that would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Isambard serves as the camp's de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see that he gives us his full cooperation. Alright. See you, Minfilia. Go ahead and head on back out to Vesper Bay. Alright. So after this, we will be continuing on to investigate what is going on with the disappearances around the area of Camp Drybone, and about the potential of someone summoning the god Ifrit. But for now, I think we'll go ahead and cut this video off here. So, hope to see you guys next time when we come back for more fun in Eorzea.